Welcome back. This week we're in Brussels.
Join us as we endure more train pain, explore Brussels, and celebrate Belgian beer. Stay tuned until the end, where we will recap all of the issues we've had over this holiday, and we have a cost breakdown. Welcome to The Right Life. We're Catherine and Edward, a married couple based in London with a passion for travel and experiencing the world together. On our channel, we share our adventures from uncovering hidden gems to learning about new cultures and discovering amazing historical sites. Join us as we explore the world. The day started full of promise in Cologne.
Enjoying the backpacking life?
I mean, I'm ready to buy my Interrail pass and go for 3 months.
I'm ready to go and see a chiropractor.
Oh, another couple weeks we'll be used to it. Backpacker Edward.
Late as usual.
2 minutes.
6 minutes.
Excited?
Oh. We haven't had much luck with the trains, love.
No, we
We haven't
haven't.
had any luck with the trains whatsoever. They've either been like hours and hours late or cancelled. So with all the chaos going on with the airports at the moment, I'm just hoping we get a seat on this train, because we didn't pay the extra 20 quid to reserve a seat. And this could be the only sitting we do for the next 2 hours. But at least we've got an assigned seat on our way home back to London on Sunday, haven't we? Oh, we finally made it to Brussels, and I don't know about you, but I'm a hot, sweaty mess.
We have quite the story to tell about our epic, what should have been a 2.5 hour turned into like a 6-hour train ride to Brussels. But luckily we have made it to our B&B, and it is completely exceeding my expectations. I'll show you around. We've got all this space here. We have a computer.
Yeah.
Which is something else.
It's a pretty amazing room.
Then we have water, milk, soda, it's all included. And a coffee maker, which looks too fancy for us. That's it.
Chest of drawers, cuddly toy.
You're the cuddly toy. And this bathroom is ginormous.
I wish our bath of my own looked like this.
Holy guacamole. Look at this.
Lovely.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. Pretty good.
Really happy.
See what the view's like. Are we overlooking the skips? Wow, rooftop view.
Oh, this is amazing.
The mussels in Brussels. The wiener bus. Yeah, they do good sausages. Skies look a bit ominous. Oh, look at that big ball up there.
Oh, it's lovely.
I think they've had a lot of rain.
The Art and History Museum is an eclectic mishmash of a bit of everything, from ancient Egypt to medieval altars and even some Art Deco stuff. It looks like this museum is laid out around this beautiful courtyard, and there's nobody here. I get all this stuff to myself and Edward, but I've lost him, so that's okay.
I think the spirits from beyond are trying to contact me. Or it could just be the broken light.
A room full of epic tapestries. It's easy to think that in the Middle Ages were no fun, but of course there were people making water jugs like this.
Do not walk on the glass. Creepy. Well, I've never seen this before in a museum, have you?
No, this is super unique. So all these people are in the floor, and it says don't walk on the glass. Don't need to be told that twice. Why are these people here? You can see he's got some metal on his feet and some grave goods, maybe a belt.
I don't think we've seen one of these outside of Seattle, have we? Well, not to Seattle, but this museum's weird. It's such a eclectic mix of stuff split over different levels. I mean, we've got a whole thing here that's basically like a tile shop, and you pick out what you want to have in your bathroom. That's the cup of a carpenter. The heads have it. Heads have it.
Here's Edward, very excited as we go into hour 3.
That's the cup of a carpenter. Or the mug of a carpenter. Weird little jugs.
As interesting as the museum was, large parts of it were in need of a major refurbishment. To recover from that epic museum visit, we headed straight to this year's Belgian Beer Festival.
Say your line.
What's my line?
Oh, actually, I think I could live here.
Okay, there you go. I think I could move here. Is this festival on every weekend?
It would be remiss not to have at least one beer in a coconut.
It's about to see the top of your head over that backpack. That's a beautiful day today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful day for a beer. And spiders, yeah. That's what I've got to look forward to when I get home, innit? Can I go round my mum's house because she's trapped a spider and she wants me to deal with it? Tell you, what is it with Brussels and this beer festival, man? The weather's been absolutely awful for the last couple of days. And as soon as they start this beer festival, the sun basically comes out. Only 2 hours away by the Eurostar.
I wouldn't say that yet.
No, we've had a complete nightmare on this holiday. We're now in our 4th hotel because we discovered yesterday that we needed 3 rooms in our 3 nights in our previous hotel. We'd only booked 2, so we've had to hump it across town. Time to buy some beer tokens.
Quick facts about the Belgian Beer Weekend. It takes place in the Grand Place in Brussels every year. Entrance is free, but you do pay for your drinks. Drinks are paid for by tokens and are only a couple of euros. About 50 different breweries have 500 different types of beer to try.
I'm the holder of the card, am I?
This works a little bit differently this year. Last year you bought little tokens that you had to snap off, and now you top these up online and use them that way. And I think it's kind of better because you can actually buy a half amount, and you don't have to spend 20 euros every time. You just want an extra 1 or 2.
Is it any good? You won't like it. You see, mine's a lot darker. Oh, that's nice. Is it wrong to return an abandoned glass for money? No. We're here for the Brussels Beer Weekend. But if you want a non-alcoholic beer activity, then I suggest you come to the flea market, which is what we're doing today. It's nice and hot, and we're just having a little mooch around all the different stalls, and yeah, just breaks the day up a bit. It's lovely.
If you prefer to get your shop on indoors, there's always the multi-level Marolais Antique Shop.
The king commands and we obey, over the hill and far away. How's the beer in this place?
Fantastic. This is one of our favorite spots in Brussels, and it's crazy busy right now, but it's actually just a touch out of downtown. However, Mannequin Fest is right across the street. So people do tend to come in and out. So if you're here and you want to sit outside, just give it 10 minutes and somebody will leave. But also inside is pretty cool, although the puppets are a little creepy.
Oh well.
But yes, here.
If you are after something other than beer, there's always the Scene Speakeasy. Just be careful about the lasers.
Well, that was some eyes wide shut, but onwards and upwards.
However, for us, it's the beer festival in the Grand Place at sunset. We finished off the evening at Alban Vutemp. It's less of a pub and more of a temple to Belgian beer.
We're at the hip new establishment for breakfast, the Woodpecker. It's so hip, it takes them 45 minutes to deliver a cup of poached egg on toast. But I've got a weird latte to drink, so, you know, awesome. And definitively say that breakfast was not worth it. It was cold and it was expensive. So wife has got me a breakfast beer.
Sunday is my favorite part of the beer festival. The crowds are a bit smaller and the breweries have a parade, which ends in the Beer Barrel Man.
It's a year later, it's 2024, exactly a year later. We're back at the Brussels Beer Festival. And I'll do my best Roddy Corbett impression and try to explain what happened last year. So, the original plan was to have a long weekend in Vienna and then catch a night train from Vienna to Cologne, with a bed and all that on a night train, and then have a couple of days in Cologne, and then catch a regional local train, sort of an hour, I think an hour and a half from Cologne to Brussels for the beer festival. And as you'll see from the video, we did make it to the beer festival last year, and we had a good time, and we're back here this year. But basically, when we got to the train station in Vienna, they told us that our night train wasn't leaving from Vienna, it was leaving from Passau, which is just over the border in Germany. So we got on this regional train to Passau and there was no seating, so we were sitting on the steps of the train, and the train rolled into Passau at sort of midnight, and then we got off the train and there was no night train to Cologne, and then the guard just sort of said, "Not my problem, you're in Germany now, not Austria. You can get on this train if you want, but it's going to Amsterdam." And I said, "Well, that's no good for us." So that was basically the last train of the night, and the whole station shut down, so we were just stranded in Passau. Some of the people that were on the train with us who were doing the same thing slept in the train station, but we were lucky enough to get a hotel about 10 minutes walk away, which was quite nice, and it was about €90. So the first train out of Passau to Cologne was, I think, 7:30 in the morning, and then basically heading to the train station, bought the tickets, which were €300. So at this point we're €400 down and a day behind where we should be, or a morning behind where we should be. And the train was delayed by 2 hours, so we were standing on a freezing cold platform. Even though it was the middle of summer, it was freezing cold for 2 hours until the train turned up. And then luckily we had our own little private compartment for the first stop at least, and then 2 Italians got on board, and despite there being 8 seats in the compartment, they decided to sit right next to me. So I was basically trapped for the best part of 5 hours in a tiny little seat next to 2 Italians, which was, nice, but not really my cup of tea.
Very cuddly.
Very cuddly. So finally we made it to Cologne, where it rained for 2 days, as you'll see from the video. And we thought, right, we've had the hard bit now. That was the hardest part of the trip. Can't get any worse from this point now. We're only an hour and a half from Brussels. We just get on the train, job done. No problem, straight into the beer festival. We rented a nice apartment. It's going to be, they can't go wrong now. It's only you only be on the train for an hour and a half. Anyway, we got on the train in Cologne. Before we got to the first station, the train broke down. I was sitting there for the best part of 40 minutes, and then managed to fix the train well enough to limp into the next station. And as I was about to get off the train to cross the platform to get on a local train to take us to another station, a young French boy thrust his phone into my hand, and then I was talking to his mum, and his mum basically said, my son's 14 years old, he doesn't speak any English, he doesn't speak any German, can you help him get on the right train to take him to Brussels? So I said, yes, okay. Then we realised that the young lad was carrying a cat. Then we realised that he'd befriended 2 Turkish gentlemen who didn't speak English or German, and were going to Brussels. So we were telling him, the young lad, what to do, and he was telling those 2 guys what to do. There's an American couple who were doing their grand tour in their late 60s with their whole life in various suitcases, with that what's going on look all over their Chevy Chase. So we had to sort of guide those troop of people off the platform. To add insult to injury, there was a massive European airstrike. So there were people trying to commute from Denmark back to England via Germany who were also trying to get onto this local train. So that's when the kind of traveller gods looked down on you, and we all kind of got together and huddled around various smartphones and worked out that we needed to get that local train to that local station to switch, and there was a 3-minute gap between the switch, so we had to marshal everyone, the young lad, the cat, the 2 Turkish guys and the elderly Americans, onto that first train. We was on that train for 15 minutes, and then we had to do the can dash from one platform at the next station over a bridge onto the other platform and get onto the other train, which was finally going direct to Brussels. We were getting off at Brussels Central. That's when we got a phone call from our hotelier who was renting us an apartment, saying if you're not here by 7 o'clock in the evening, you're not going to have the apartment that we paid for. And it was like 6:30, and the apartment was like 20 minutes from the train station. So I was like, look mate, I explained to him what had happened, and I said, look, can you hold it open for us? And he's like, begrudgingly said yes. So we got off the train in Brussels, and made sure all the rest of our entourage was okay. And then with backpacks, both of us wearing backpacks, we marched through Brussels to our apartment just before 7 p.m. At which point I said, "Oh, thank you for keeping it open for us. Are you leaving?" And he sort of said, "Oh no, I live here." So I was like, "Okay." So we got into our room, and then went out and enjoyed the beer festival. And when we come back, I said to Catherine, "How much we pay for this apartment?" Because it was a really nice apartment with a beautiful balcony and beautiful views and all that. And she told me the number, and I was like, "That can't be right. That can't be right, because it's just too cheap." And it turns out it wasn't right. Catherine had not booked a long enough stay at the hotel. In fact, it was a day short. So then we had to pack all our stuff up on the Saturday and rent another hotel, the Novotel, just off the main Palace Square for that one night, which cost us about €100, which I thought was quite reasonable. And we packed all our stuff up and moved there. Anyway, we enjoyed it so much in that hotel, the Novotel, and it's so close to Palace Square, that's where we're staying this year. And that is basically the story of what happened in Vienna / Cologne / Brussels last year. And the take home from that story is, don't book a train in Germany. They are rubbish. Everyone tells you how bad it is in England. The trains in Germany are absolute rubbish. And that's all I've got to say about that. I'm going to enjoy my beer now. Salut, Prost. Till next time.
So what did that whole debacle cost us? Our original night train was €311. We then had to spend $109 on the hotel and $232 on the last-minute train tickets, bringing the total to €652, or about $723. I contacted the OBB, the Austrian train company, and was refunded the cost of the hotel and the last-minute tickets, as well as 50% of the original ticket. That stung a bit, considering we spent almost 3 hours sitting on the steps. That left us €156, or $173 out of pocket for the train ride from Vienna to Cologne. I then went to see what we could get back from the Deutsche Bahn, the German train company. The last-minute and pre-booked Cologne to Brussels tickets cost €348 combined. As both of our trains were more than 2 hours late, we were able to claim 50% of the total back, which gave us €171. Once you subtract a few pounds for postage, we ended up making about €10 or $11 on the whole thing. Well, it stings to lose a vacation day. At least we didn't lose hundreds of pounds as well. My top tip is to always hang on to your receipts. Now, back to the video.
Hello there. We're on the final train of our holiday. Hopefully, no, penultimate train. Got to get one home from King's Cross. Like this, we're finally on the Eurostar. Hopefully, be in London in 2 hours. It's very hot. It's very sweaty, and hopefully, this one doesn't break down.
Absolutely.
On the other 6 dwarfs. See you in London. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to see more about Brussels, please check out our Belgian Beer Festival video from last year. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear about what you think and if you've had any travel disasters. But don't worry, there are more adventures to come.
How are your beer pouring skills?
Not good. If that's what you like, this is the place to come.
So if you need all sorts of interesting stuff here. You finding answers.
It's beer. Beer.